What began as barely audible whispers has now evolved into one of the most quietly explosive celebrity rumors of the year, because the alleged relationship between Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai did not erupt through paparazzi photos, official statements, or emotional confessions, but instead unfolded through something far more unsettlingly persuasive: patterns, silence, and the subtle clues of everyday life that fans have learned to read with uncanny precision. And by the time the phrase "officially living together" started circulating across social platforms, many netizens felt the conclusion had already been written behind closed doors, unlike past speculation fueled by fleeting eye contact at events or overlapping brand schedules. This theory suggested a far deeper shift, one involving shared space, synchronized routines, and a private world no longer divided, all triggered when fans noticed both actors posting images that appeared to originate from the same interior environment, an observation that initially seemed harmless, even forgettable, until comparisons began revealing identical floor textures, matching wall art, consistent window angles, and lighting that implied the same apartment photographed on different days, a detail that pushed curiosity into overdrive as screenshots spread rapidly and coincidences began stacking too neatly to ignore, encouraging fans to revisit older posts, archive stories, and overlooked details with renewed intensity, searching for continuity rather than isolated proof. And as these investigations deepened, a growing number of netizens began to argue that what they were witnessing was not accidental overlap, but a carefully protected domestic rhythm that had simply slipped into public view. Speculation intensified when timeline analysts noted that both Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai reduced public activity during the same period, disappearing from behind-the-scenes updates, travel sightings, and casual social media interactions almost simultaneously, a silence that felt less accidental and more coordinated, especially in an industry where constant engagement is often treated as a professional necessity. And when anonymous accounts began reporting repeated sightings of Song Weilong entering a luxury residential complex linked by prior fan encounters and delivery records to Zhao Jinmai, the rumor took on a weight that was difficult to dismiss outright, even without verification, because the reports shared striking similarities in timing, behavior, and location, suggesting routine rather than coincidence. What truly ignited online frenzy, however, was a furniture brand interaction that resurfaced weeks later, revealing a modern dining table identical to one seen in Zhao Jinmai's recent post and previously liked by Song Weilong, prompting fans to ask a question that lingered uncomfortably long. Why would two highly private actors display the same furniture in what were presumed to be separate personal spaces unless those spaces were one and the same? And why would such a detail remain visible if the intention was complete separation? Skeptics argued interior designers, standardized luxury layouts, sponsored furnishings, and coincidence, yet supporters countered with a detail that felt louder than any image or repost: the absence of denial. Because in previous rumor cycles involving both actors, agencies had moved swiftly to clarify misunderstandings, shut down speculation, or issue neutral distancing statements, whereas this time there was no correction, no narrative reset, no attempt to redirect public attention, only continued quiet. A silence that entertainment bloggers interpreted as intentional restraint rather than ignorance, and insiders suggested that if a relationship did exist, it had matured slowly, privately, and without the need for public validation, aligning with a broader industry shift toward protecting personal lives rather than monetizing them. Revisiting recent interviews only deepened intrigue, as Song Weilong's reflections on valuing stability, routine, and emotional grounding suddenly felt less philosophical and more autobiographical, while Zhao Jinmai's emphasis on cherishing ordinary moments, domestic calm, and balance outside of work began to sound less like abstract ideals and more like glimpses into a lived reality, prompting fans to reframe past comments as possible soft disclosures rather than coincidence. Visual analysis also played a role, as fans observed softer smiles, calmer posture, and a noticeable ease in both actors' recent public appearances, an energy that many interpreted as the confidence of individuals whose private lives felt secure and settled. And while such observations remain subjective, they added emotional coherence to the theory, making it feel less sensational and more human. Even minor posts referencing shared responsibilities, watering schedules, houseplants thriving indoors, pet-related items appearing casually in the background were woven into the growing narrative of cohabitation, not as definitive evidence, but as emotional texture that made the story feel plausible, intimate, and quietly domestic, suggesting a life built on repetition rather than spectacle, which may explain why reactions online became so divided, with some fans celebrating the possibility of a mature, private relationship that prioritized stability over publicity, others expressing shock that such a serious step could occur without acknowledgement, and many urging restraint, caution, and respect for boundaries, reminding fellow netizens that speculation can easily blur into intrusion, yet regardless of stance. A consensus emerged that this rumor felt fundamentally different from past celebrity gossip, not anchored to a single viral moment or leaked image, but constructed from repetition, consistency, and behavioral alignment across months rather than days, leaving fans to speculate that, whatever the truth may be, it has likely moved beyond something casual or experimental and into territory defined by long-term intention. Discussions expanded beyond whether the couple was living together to what such a decision symbolized in modern celebrity culture, where choosing privacy can itself be a powerful declaration, and where silence may function not as avoidance, but as protection, especially for young actors whose careers remain closely scrutinized. Some commentators suggested that confirmation may never come, arguing that for couples committed to discretion, everyday life does not require public endorsement, while others believed the silence indicated a transitional phase, a period of adjustment before clarity emerges naturally. Still, no official confirmation exists from Song Weilong, Zhao Jinmai, or their agencies, and every element of the narrative remains rooted in fan observation, anonymous accounts, and online interpretation rather than verified fact. Yet the idea continues to trend because it reflects something audiences believe they are witnessing: the quiet formation of a shared life unfolding beyond cameras, where emotional alignment, domestic routine, and mutual presence replace dramatic announcements. And until someone chooses to speak clearly, the internet will continue watching every post, every background detail, every pause between updates, convinced that something meaningful has already been revealed, not through declarations or headlines, but through the silent language of ordinary days lived together. Thank you for watching and supporting our content, and if you enjoy in-depth celebrity stories, nuanced rumor analysis, and thoughtful entertainment coverage, don't forget to subscribe to 24H News. TM, share your perspective in the comments, and join the ongoing conversation.